What's going on, AfterBuzzers? You are tuned in to the Billboard Music Awards After Show Special here on AfterBuzz TV. How did Madonna do with Purple Rain, and who took home the best or the most BBMA awards? Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Perfect. Tell me that wasn't on point. That was on point
fitting tribute.
The engineers got it right there.
Thank you.
Purple Rain. Shout out to you, Prince. Rest in peace, Prince. What's going on, guys? Like I said, this is the Billboard Music Awards 2016 After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. I'm so excited to be doing this. I had a really good time here. It's your boy, Nino. You can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, all that good stuff. You know I'm not here alone. Over here directly to my left, if you ever need to find out what's happening around the world, the news, once her Twitter account gets back on together, Twitter, get that together, this is Katerina Cozias.
Hey everyone, Katerina here, and yes, I'm having some Mercury retrograde techno issues, but you can normally catch me on Twitter and Instagram at Katerina Cozias. I'm so pumped to be here with you guys. I'm going to shoot it over to Mike.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here with both of you.
Yes.
That's right. What's up, guys? My name is Michael Rippe, and you can find me on social media, all over social media, at Mike Rips.
There we go.
We make it easy.
We make it way easy, guys. All right, this award show was actually pretty easy to watch. I had a really good time.
Hey, I had a great time
many
with this
performances.
award show.
Right. This is why the Billboard Music Awards are one of my favorites, is because they have back-to-back musical performances. You know, you're actually able to watch some of your favorite performers throughout the year without, you know, the stigma or the pretentiousness of like a snooty award show.
And you know what? A lot of shows, they have a lot of time just caked in for just time they don't need.
And the speeches, and then you're snoring.
And this show is built on a lot of performances, which is what you want to see. A lot of the music, a lot of performances, and that's exciting.
A lot of energy in this show, and a lot of good tributes, and a lot of good recommendations in terms of new performers and
if you don't know who they are,
new songs coming up.
Right.
And also a lot of legs.
A lot of legs.
We did talk about that.
A lot of legs.
It was Leg City.
I love the fashion. The
Yes.
fashion episode for AfterBuzz for the Billboard Music Awards is going to be on tomorrow.
Yes.
So we're not going to talk fashion tonight, but a shout out to all the lovely ladies out there, because they looked great.
But we do have to talk about Sierra and her many outfit changes, along with Ludacris, which is sad because we didn't realize that Luda had as many outfit changes as she did.
Was he a host?
He was. I was sad.
I saw so much Sierra. I didn't know.
And you know,
I
Ludacris
know.
looked great, but Sierra, wow, she rocked it.
She did an
Show-
amazing
She
job.
looked fantastic.
Showstopper.
Right. The beginning. Okay, I was a little worried in the beginning because the beginning kind of was a little rough for me with their opener or whatnot. But then I felt they built into it, and it was a lot better as it went along. Because Luda's done this for 3 years now,
Right.
And I think he's been great the past 3 years or whatnot. Adding Sierra to this, I thought it was good, and it was a good move for her. And congratulations to Sierra, because you just got signed to IMG, a big contract, I heard. So you won't need to hold that extra $20,000 that Luda just won on the tables. I think you're good.
I think anyone in Vegas tonight is having a good time.
Right, definitely.
Yeah.
But okay, today this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go on top 3 performances, awards, and memorable moments. But first of all, I just want to know. I think we kind of touched on it. Your overall thoughts of what happened tonight and what you guys thought about the awards. Go ahead, Katerina.
Sure. So I really enjoyed watching it, and like you said, it was performance after performance, and I thought most of the artists really brought it. I've got a couple qualms, and we'll get into that. But overall, I had a great time. I had a good time watching the show.
Nice. What about you, Mike?
It was a fun show. It was, like we said, so many performances. The ladies looked beautiful across the board, from presenters to performers. Some better than other performances. Really enjoyed Pink's aerial performance. We'll get into
Crazy.
it. My top 3.
She's been flying around for years. She's still at it. She's great.
We had the Blake and the Gwen performance.
Okay.
Maybe the first ever. So a lot of range in performance.
Right.
A lot of different musical performers.
Right.
Across the board, country. We had the Go-Go's.
Absolutely.
Throwback.
Right. And
57 years old.
on the farewell tour,
Linda
which is
Carlisle.
pretty dope.
Pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So we
She looked
had.
great.
I enjoy just the it's just fresh. There's not one theme. They didn't keep you on your toes. It's just, an enjoyable show. Not the best show, but a fun show
What'd
to
you
watch.
think of Britney's opener?
I thought Britney could have been better.
We all did, I think. We've talked
She
about
looks
that.
great.
She looks great.
So kudos to her on her looks. But overall, from a performance standpoint, I think we talked about this too.
We did.
We could have enjoyed maybe if she had done a throwback to past performances, maybe with the snake.
I loved the snake. I was waiting for the snake to come back out.
I think we were both waiting for the snake to come out because we talked about this. We felt like it was a little like underwhelming in a sense because you kind of hold Britney to a really high like prestige and platform when she performs because back, in the early 2000s, like mid 2000s, we used to see her like it was Britney Spears is going to be on an award show. Okay, I need to definitely watch this.
Yeah.
And then Britney
Right?
Spears opening the award show.
Exactly.
Well,
Would've been.
I was expecting a little bit more. She looked fantastic.
did.
Body was tight. Good on you, Brittany, but a little,
Little flat, little
flat.
little. You had said it earlier, Nino. A little underwhelming.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
But not bad.
It
Not-
wasn't
but not bad.
Definitely
Not bad. Could have been better.
Could have been better. Exactly. But that's just how it goes.
We
and,
actually want to know what you think. So hit us up here at AfterBuzz
Right.
TV. Hashtag BBMAs.
Some of you guys actually did hit me up when I asked you guys what you guys thought about the performance. I'm going to pull it up here once the internet agrees with me here. And it was Brittany Lampak said this. She loved Pink's performance and Celine Dion's performance. Also, she was really happy that Thomas Rhett won for Best Country Song. You're a big
And I'm a country music fan. I am.
That was very cool. And I don't know if you want to get into the top, but for me, my favorite moment of the night, top performance, has to be Celine Dion.
There we go. Well, let's get into it. Top three. Let's go. From you all the way to
I'll
Katerina.
start with my number one,
Yes.
Celine Dion.
Right. Well, there's a reason she's an icon. I mean,
Right.
she got the Icon Award tonight. There's a reason.
And there is a reason, and she
yes.
lived up to it in a tough moment,
100%.
a very touching moment.
Absolutely.
She epitomizes
And that is, I
Right.
think that is the example of a true artist. Is she has got to be deeply in mourning right now. I mean, it's been just little under 2 months, I think, since Renee died,
And then her
her
brother.
brother died, and she really just the show must go on, and it did, and she did a fabulous job.
Just
Right.
tremendous. That's going to be the number one moment I will remember from tonight's show. Not just her performance, but her touching tribute after. To be able to have a little bit of a speech, and then her son comes out,
Right.
and she's surprised by that, and you could see the truthfulness and the honesty in the emotion.
And you can see the emotion in the crowd as well in the audience, and I felt it.
Oh, I definitely felt it. I mean, she was with her husband, since he started managing her at 13 years old. That's been such a long time, and we've seen, their family grow. We've seen her son when he was, yay high, and to see him come on, and we were laughing at this, like, his Instagram followers must be like ranking up after that situation.
You're watching us, but after that, check out Celine Dion's son.
Yeah.
He's the next star.
IMG models might be on his tail. Like, you never know.
He may be the next one signed.
Exactly.
Who else was your performer? Top
So
performer?
after Celine Dion, who I thought stole the show, I gotta say Pink.
Yes. Okay. Agreed.
I think no matter what, anytime you do something a little bit more outlandish, different than just standing on the stage, she's flying through the air, doing aerial stuff. And look, Pink does this often, but nonetheless, she did it amazing again.
She did a
tonight.
great job.
Right.
Cool hairstyle.
And it's still
Everything.
Pink.
Just
It's still Pink.
yeah.
Her career, let's just come on, from signing with L.A. Reid to her first hit, and that really not being her, and how she evolved herself and changed, and she's consistently been going through that. No, she doesn't put out a hit after hit after hit. She kind of spreads it out, but that's what's making her career long lasting.
And she's been around for a long time.
has.
She has.
And she is the type of performer who could go on stage,
Yes.
do the pretty simple standard, just go through the motions. But no, not Pink.
And with that voice, and you're upside down, and you're
Yes.
flying in the air without a net.
Come on. It's so incredible job by Pink. I really loved her performance. That was my number 2.
Thank you for showing up. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
give her credit. What did you guys think?
I thought Pink's performance was great. I mean, so that was your number 1 and number 2.
My number 1 and
My
number
number
two.
1, I agreed with you.
Okay.
My number 2, I agreed with you as well too.
Okay.
And you know what? Madonna's Purple Rain, I was nervous for it, but I actually really liked it. And I think I like it because it was the tribute to Prince and how Stevie Wonder came out, how the crowd reacted, and how we saw Rihanna singing. I think it was the moment more or less than, like, say, Madonna performing it. You know what I mean?
And she had done it. It was very respectful.
Super respectful.
This was, in my opinion, a legend honoring a legend. I was thrilled personally that Madonna did this, and I know there was a lot of controversy about having perhaps having a black artist or perhaps having a multitude of artists. For me, it was Madonna, Prince, and Michael Jackson. It was those three that epitomized the 80s, and I think it was very fitting for her to do this.
No, it was good, I thought, and she did a really good job. I would have liked to see The Weeknd maybe do it. Actually, also Miguel, who I think when I think of Prince and I think of a new Prince, I think Miguel. Miguel as an artist does push the boundaries, you know, and they compare them a lot, you know, in retrospect or whatnot. And I think it would have been cool to see him or more artists, multiple artists.
That's a good one. I didn't think of Miguel. Can I throw a name out to you? We didn't see him tonight, but when I think of Prince and I think of a new age Prince, possibly, I think of Bruno Mars.
Never thought about
Somewhat
that,
as a possibility of a new age version.
Because of the funk?
The dance moves. He's test the outer boundaries.
Yes.
A little bit different. Good performer.
You're right.
Bruno Mars isn't my favorite.
Really?
No,
I think he's a great performer.
I love that guy.
His Super Bowl halftime shows.
Okay.
That. Well, I've seen
But he
him
was up
live,
against
too.
Coldplay. That was a little... So... I don't know Bruno Mars against Prince, how that would have been.
No. I mean, Prince is the legend.
For me,
Right,
but...
definitely.
Just another name that when I think of maybe a new age type of Prince, you got to do a lot and you got to have time to show that. But you threw out Miguel, good choice.
Right.
And I just want to throw out Bruno Mars.
That's good, actually. If, like I said, if it was a multitude of people or like multiple people just there honoring Prince, I think it would have been even that much better.
Something cool.
But Madonna and Stevie by themselves alone, like it already was like, I'll put it in my top 3.
They did carry it, absolutely.
And if we want to go there, my third, I was gonna put Madonna with the Stevie Wonder. That was really nice and touching, but just to be a little different, I'll throw out Fifth Harmony.
Honorable mention. We're on the same wavelength.
We're on the same wavelength.
Yes.
I think Fifth Harmony, their dance moves were electric.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed their dance moves, and I thought they sang well.
Right.
So I thought overall, compared to the other performances, I had Fifth Harmony.
That was my honorable mention, and I'm gonna because I'm gonna fanboy a little bit here. I've been watching.
I'm on a panel with 2 gentlemen looking at 5 ladies dancing around.
I mean, we're gonna get to
teeny tiny little outfits. I wouldn't put that in my top 3,
but like with Fifth Harmony.
But nice job, ladies.
Like they've been around since X Factor. They're the only group in X Factor to ever hit the top 5 on Billboard. They've been the most successful, and to see them grow and what they've done and how their branding has gone and how L.A. Reid and the whole Psycho team and or whatnot has evolved into how they are now, and for them to be there, it's kind of a cool journey because everyone kind of thinks like, oh, like all of a sudden these singers or these artists come out of nowhere. They must, they must have got a big break. No, a lot of these times these people have been working really, really hard to get to where they are. To crack the Billboard Top 100 is not that easy.
Right.
To crack the top 10 is ridiculously hard.
Right.
So for people to do that, and you see the growth, it's amazing. So they were my honorable mention.
So it looks like we're kind of on the same wavelength. What about
I'm on a different wavelength here. I'm going to be representing all you that are looking at something a little bit different. Okay, so again, plugging my global country music thing. I really was anticipating the Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani duet.
Okay.
And what I found, I mean, the song was fine, but the chemistry there.
Yes.
There was this eye contact that you wow, there was something going
it's
on
like
there.
they may be dating or something.
Maybe they're dating. But no, I mean, I saw it for the first time. This is a very strange couple for me. I've had a tough time trying to wrap my head around this, but I saw it tonight, so good on them. I enjoyed that performance.
You know what? You guys baffled me when you said that Gwen Stefani was older than Blake. I had no idea. I thought it was the other way around. And that makes it even more weird for me.
She looked fantastic, of course. 46 years old. She looks fabulous.
She looks
Good job,
great.
Gwen.
I don't know. I mean, what did you? I know we were all talking about that. We saw the eye contact was heavy with them. What did you think?
It was heavy, and it was a new Gwen Stefani. I thought a different version of Gwen Stefani than you're used to. She was dressed up a little bit more put together and not rocker style and cool and very elegant, and she looked very classy, and she was singing from the heart. It seemed like a real connection she obviously is finding with Blake, and so to do that in front of the world was nice.
Right. You know what it was too? It was her makeup. I think she looked like it was a little bit more
softer.
It was way softer, I think, right? When we're used to the harsh red lip for her, like a cat eye or something like that.
Yeah.
Look at me like I'm a beauty blogger or something. But I totally saw the difference when she came out in that dress, and I feel like that even taking away the Gwen Stefani look and then adding Blake Shelton in the song, and the eye contact was like, hello, what's going on?
But you know what I like
here?
is it showed diversity for the artists, and that I think is what keeps an artist in the spotlight for 20 years.
I know.
It's been almost 15, 20 years at least since No Doubt.
Question.
Right. that kind of brings it to like how many legends or how many people in the business do we see like in this episode or this show like
Quite
that was
a
just
few.
like over 20 years in the industry, which is great to see. You know what I mean?
It is.
It's introducing the new generation to.
Speaking of being in the industry, and it's been at least 10 for the Biebs. What did you think of his performance?
Okay, so the theatrics and the visuals like are amazing. I can't say too much like because I just did a project with him, but the dude, I think like we said, okay, theatrics, the visuals looked amazing for me. I thought like that the whole box thing and the whole screen looked pretty cool, and I was like, wow, this is really, really cool. Like his concert in general, I've seen on YouTube as well too, looks amazing, but I felt like he wasn't like 100 as far as like energy. You know what I mean? Maybe he's tired because he is on tour or whatnot, but I mean, like, what did you guys think?
For me, he fell a little bit flat. I think he's a fantastic artist.
Right.
He's a musical genius. He really is. This performance was lacking energy for me.
Right.
He wasn't there. He wasn't singing well for me. He wasn't dancing well for me. The whole thing was flat, and that's too bad.
Yeah, Biebs, I love you, but gotta bring it a little bit more. Just
Especially for as many awards as he was up for.
Just to compare tonight's Justin Bieber performance compared to the Grammys performance,
Right.
at least I really enjoyed his Grammys performance. Also, I like his songs, so maybe that helped. But I thought the song that he played tonight was good. The first one,
Company.
that was a good one. And of course, like you said, theatrics, he's got it there.
On point.
He's got the visuals.
He had it, but
he brings
he
you in.
himself wasn't pulling us the way a few of these
And I
other
find that to
artists
be
did.
consistent with Justin in that he's an amazing musical composer. He writes great songs. He sings great songs in the studio, but in concert and in performance, he's lacking. I'd like to see more than just a simple dance move, kick of the legs. A little bit more. Give us more than just the standard.
Right.
Speaking of simple
Going through
and
the motions.
standard, what did you think of Rihanna's performance?
That was different. Even though that was simple and standard, her voice alone and the energy she exuded through her, like just emotions in her face, I thought was like, okay, I'm here for you right now because we've seen her growth as far as her vocal performances, and I don't feel like she needed the theatrics for that performance right there.
It was a different type of Rihanna performance tonight for sure. And so originally I was thinking it was a bit average to start, but I liked it because it was unique. Right. It wasn't something that's generally Rihanna.
Definitely. I mean, that's the same thing that goes with Biebs. Like when he's sitting down and he has a guitar or he has a guitarist.
And he's acoustic.
Or the piano,
or the
yeah.
I think he totally shines in that moment.
He does.
And like, more people obviously want to see him dancing. Like his fans are a lot of younger girls. And they want to see him dancing and like really going for it. Like almost like Chris Brown or Justin Timberlake, like we said when we were talking earlier. But I feel like with him and the music, just him and the music,
Yeah, it's
I'd
great.
watch it all day.
Yeah.
Like,
Agreed.
Like,
And if you
So sing a little a cappella for us next time, Biebs.
if you're gonna go boy band on us, that's fine. But I want to see
then
more.
bring it.
Really
Yes.
bring it,
Then
not just
really
leaving
bring
me
it.
like
Yeah.
especially when you're Justin Bieber because
Right.
he's a top selling guy. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
he's Justin Bieber.
right. I mean, he got a couple awards, tonight or whatnot. And he's like you said, he's one of those who he's going to keep on going.
Yeah.
Whether or not he's dancing or just sitting down and playing acoustically. But like you said, you got to give the nod to him being a musical genius because when he was little, like if you saw him on YouTube and him hitting those drums and playing the guitar and like the stuff that he would do since he was that young, he was almost like a prodigy.
He was pulling out Aerosmith when he was 3.
Exactly.
And he's
And I
still
love seeing
super young.
Steven
like,
Tyler tonight.
And he's still super
That's
young.
another
There we
legend
go.
for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Steven Tyler,
Yeah.
legend.
Oh, yeah.
Aerosmith, hello.
Oh, yeah.
But he's still super young, so he has much to go.
The Biebs?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But who else was in your top 3? And then let's move on a little bit after that.
I enjoyed the
you-
Go-Go's.
The Go-Go's.
I thought the women looked fantastic. These women, Belinda Carlisle, like I said, is 57 years old.
Right.
She looked great. The song was great. We're all singing along.
Oh yeah, because we all know
And,
the song.
yeah, and I like the old school television TV boxes in the background
Right.
there, part of the act. I thought it was that one was fun for me.
That was good. I agree with you definitely. Like,
Eating cake at the beach. That one was fun too.
DNCE, I got to give it up to the Jonas Brothers too. Nick and Joe are doing their thing. I think Kevin's married and he's kind of relaxing at the moment.
Cake by the ocean, but you know what? Every time I drive by the ocean, that song gets into my head, and I'm thinking, does anyone go to the ocean and eat cake? I don't know.
I have never. Have you guys?
I haven't.
Tell us in the live chat or in the comments
Have
Right.
you ever eaten cake by the ocean?
But you know what?
Let us know.
how to taste. Just
Let's
saying,
go.
let us know.
Let's go. So let's move on to awards. How about that? 18 nominations?
All right, 18 nominations. No, I believe 18 nominations for 16 categories for the weekend.
Right.
Now, I got to put a little shout out here to Canadian artists because, first of all, the weekend is Canadian.
He is.
18 nods.
Okay.
Drake is Canadian.
Okay.
Celine Dion, who got the Icon Award, is Canadian.
That's right.
And so is Justin Bieber.
Right.
And so am I.
There we go.
So, shout out to Canadians.
Shout out to Canada.
Yeah, we represented. I was excited about that. So
Canada
good on
pulls
you,
some good
Canada.
people.
Team Canada
Yes.
represented. I love
But the weekend,
Canada
I was
too.
glad that he won a couple of awards. Well deserved. He's been really bringing it this year.
Yes.
You know, speaking of the weekend, I thought that his acceptance speeches were nice.
They were nice.
He didn't
he's
just get up there,
Canadian.
go through the motions, and say nothing. It seemed like he's really honest. I mean, he talked about Prince a little bit, how Prince was, he
Which
never really
choked
met
up,
Prince,
yeah.
but that Prince was kind of who he looked at
Absolutely.
For inspiration. And I always enjoy when the artists thank their team, the people
And their
that help them get
inspirations,
places.
yes.
His lawyer.
I mean,
Everybody, yeah.
people that are important and behind the scenes that maybe never get these shout outs, it means
True.
something to them, and it's an appreciation thing. So I thought that from the weekend, and multiple times he came up, that was nice. And he seemed honest, he seemed genuine, and I like to see
super.
that from the
And it was
weekend.
it was one of those things where it was quick but so good because he didn't have to delve in too much, but his emotions when he talked about Prince and he kind of got choked up right there, and he kind of stopped. That just goes to show you, and this is why we opened up with Purple Rain, I think, because respectfully, Prince has hit the industry from so many different generations and has been such a icon. Whether you're a writer, whether you're a musician, whether you're an artist or whatnot, he's helped so many people.
Yeah.
With his music and with his artistry and just pushing the boundaries. And
And
whatnot.
it's a real shame that these artists that he died at such a young age. I
Right.
mean, Prince had a good at least 20, 30 years in him.
I'm sure.
And
Yeah.
he would have still been
Unfortunate.
performing and yeah.
You're right. And it just dawned on me as we're sitting up here, I didn't think of it during the show, but we also lost David Bowie.
We did.
And it's interesting to me though that I think just because it was more recent for Prince that there was no David Bowie coverage in
Right.
in the show tonight.
I never thought about that, and you're absolutely right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
And David Bowie was a
legend.
massive artist.
Massive.
Oh.
Right.
And I think it's just because we kind of
Yeah.
had that happen with David Bowie, losing David Bowie, and then losing Prince. I guess it's just a little bit more new in our brains.
What did you
but-
think of Kesha's performance?
For Bob Dylan.
Her nod to Bob
Yeah,
Dylan.
'cause speaking of Kesha, that was interesting. It was nice to see Kesha being able to perform and letting
In light of, yes.
legal stuff and the drama surrounding her career. But it was nice to see her perform. I'm not sure that that's my thing for Kesha.
Because you weren't expecting it at all.
No, and I like when artists do different things and touch on it. To me, I was more excited that she's able to perform. I could do with more of Kesha's style performance.
Yeah, I definitely missed that, but I think she did a good job because she got a standing O.
Her vocals were fantastic.
Amazing, and that's the thing. Kesha could sing. And I think people never knew that.
She's a great singer.
Well, you know what? She
was
lost.
like that.
She lost a lot of that at the beginning because of the crazy
Of course, yeah.
vibe and punkness of her. But the vocals were great tonight.
Right.
She
No, her
really
vocals
did a
were on
nice
point.
job.
She did a really good job. I want to know what the connection is to why she chose to do Bob Dylan. I know it's like it's inspiration for her, or whatnot. But I would like to read an article to see, why exactly she.
It would have
chose
been
to
more
do Bob
fitting for
Dylan.
her to do a tribute to David Bowie. I
Oh yeah,
think.
Gaga definitely
Yeah.
killed that one. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
Gaga's one for the Grammy is amazing.
But that interests me now that we're sitting up here doing
If
this
anyone
live,
knows,
just-
let us know. Tweet
it's
us.
Interesting. I mean, no one really talked about David Bowie. We didn't
Yeah.
hear much, so it's time.
And it's within the same year, the same time frame for music or whatever fiscal year or whatnot.
Absolutely.
So you would think there would be one. That's a good one.
So just on that, rest in peace, David Bowie, another
rest in
legend.
peace, David Bowie. A lot of the legends, passing away the past year. 2016 was not good for celebrities.
We still got a lot of time left this year too.
Oh
so.
gosh,
Not
guys.
even
Knock on wood. Knock
Yeah.
on wood. But okay, so awards. Adele. So
Uh-huh.
Adele wasn't there, but she did receive like 2 big awards.
Yes.
And I just wanted to touch on her music video because I thought the song was great. I got really dizzy, guys. Like extremely dizzy.
Well, first of all, I thought in the video she looked fantastic, and
Right.
we were sort of waiting for it to start to see, and it just got a little strange.
Right. Imagine if there was like 6 of each of us, right? Like how would you
Slowly
feel?
morphing.
Exactly.
Morphing and changing.
And she wasn't even morphing. It was
Seems
just
like a nice song, though. It was the first time she debuted the song.
You know,
What do you think
this-
of the song?
I think it's good, actually.
Yeah, it was a good
and
song.
it was
I
a
liked
little
it,
bit
too.
different from the regular Adele.
It was up a little bit.
It
right?
was a little bit more poppy.
Yeah.
Did you think that too?
Definitely.
And I was thinking that was the part that took me. Like, I'm used to Adele, long, strung out, amazing, powerful voice, slow, emotional, getting in the feeling. And this was a little bit more pop.
No, yeah, exactly, because it was already a fast build in the beginning, and then
And it
usually
was-
you have the slow build, and you get that like high,
And
like
I kind of like that. I mean, I need to hear it again.
yeah.
Yeah, we'd like
But
to hear
I
it again.
like that it's a little bit more fast paced. I can only imagine you could turn that into like
Yeah,
electronic,
remix, a little EDM.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the music video and also the idea of not performing the video, but just debuting it. I get it; it's a good place for
Yeah.
views, but it's just an interesting
It
phenomenon.
was
to
definitely
me.
a placement because Taylor Swift did it last year, and she broke Vivo records like crazy. Just in the day one after that, everyone wanted to watch it and debuted on Vivo. I think they're doing the same thing.
It was a
for
different
Adele.
style video, though.
Definitely
It was.
because when we saw Taylor Swift's Bad Blood video,
Yeah,
it
I
was
wanted to see
crazy,
it again
right?
and again and
It
again.
was
I
like-
don't think I want to see the Adele video again and again. And I saw it 3 times in one sitting.
6 maybe.
Maybe 6.
Maybe 6.
Right, so stop giving Adele views. Give us more views. Tell
Let
your
us know
friends.
though. Let us
There
know
we
what you
go.
thought of Adele's new video.
Yes,
Again.
Mike, I like
us
that.
up. Yeah.
There we go.
Also, though, speaking of Adele, and maybe it's just because I'm American, I love British people. I love listening to British people talk. You have amazing accents. So when Adele accepted her award, it's just fantastic.
Can you say hello? Like she says hello.
I can't. I need
Hello?
her.
Hello.
It's just so
She
good.
says it
I'm
so
not going to try
well.
to embarrass myself here.
And
but
speaking of Brits, small shout out to Ed Sheeran, who is also one of
Sheeran.
my favorites.
Multiple
Nominated a
nominations.
few times, and I love you, Ed. Keep doing what you're doing.
There you go. Was he there? I don't remember
I don't
seeing
think
him.
he was
He
there.
wasn't there, right? Well, there you go. Adele was on her world tour, so she's
She had a
little
good
busy.
excuse.
She had a good excuse, but I mean, we got to see her a little bit, multiple times. But she got one of the biggest awards for the night. But okay, so memorable moments, guys. Memorable moments, and one had to be, like I said, for me was the acceptance speech from.
Celine Dion?
From Celine Dion and her son.
And her son.
Like that moment right there, because I think she really didn't expect it. He might have came with her.
It was a nice surprise for her, and I think for moral support while she was up there, I think it really steadied her.
Or what did she say? She's like, "Can you just stay here with me?"
Yeah.
I thought that was the beautiful moment. I think the moments that are real, and that seemed real to me.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That was a nice moment to have. I also, to further that, I enjoyed the intro where Seal introduced Celine
Yes.
Dion and talked about her
Achievements and
history,
accomplishments
achievements,
and-
and
yes.
her recently passed husband.
Right.
How he started as the manager when she's young, and they had the pictures. I thought that the whole tribute around there was done perfectly.
Right. Because if you're younger and you don't really know who Celine Dion is, and you kind of see that, it touches you even more.
yeah.
You know, because you're like, okay,
She
I
has
get
had
that.
one heck of a career.
Oh yeah.
And
Wow.
still
and there's a
going
reason.
strong.
You
Right.
could see it. She really did a
I mean,
fantastic
this
job
name for
tonight.
that song, "The Show Must Go On."
Yes.
Exactly. You felt it through the TV screen. I've seen her live, and I felt like I felt it. You know what I mean? But even just watching her today and just seeing her and how powerful she is on stage, she commands stage presence like no other.
Now, what did you think? What did you think of some of the younger artists like Ariana Grande or Demi Lovato? Do you think they'll get to that place that Celine has reached?
They could. I think they could.
What did you think of their performances tonight?
Well, first, to get to a Celine level is crazy. So I'm not going to give them any credit to get that level. I mean, they're good in their own rights, but Celine is in her own category. Tonight, I thought that Ariana Grande, I like her voice. I think she has a powerful voice. The performance was so-so. Demi, I wasn't that big a fan of the whole performance and evening for her. It was,
Yeah.
one of those,
It was okay.
shrug your shoulders. It is what it is.
I'm an on and off Demi fan when it comes to certain things or whatnot. I feel like sometimes she's amazing, like her vocals are amazing and
Sure.
they're on point, and sometimes she can get pitchy or whatnot. But that's fine. But it's I haven't seen a performance recently where I'm just like, oh no, I lie. I saw a performance with her on a James Corden's show when she was at a house and she was sang kind of live, and that was great. But I mean, it's I'm on and off with
Hit or
Demi.
miss.
Yeah, but with what I'm really liking right now from the younger artists right now is Troye Sivan, who was the Kia's artist to watch. Tori Kelly was last year's, and she did an amazing job, and she's on tour. She's doing really well. Troye Sivan was great. Also, Nick Jonas and Tove Lo.
That was a nice performance.
I love that performance.
That was
I love
good.
that song.
It was a little bit unique with
Yeah.
the mirror or the
Yeah,
imaging
she
on
popped in,
stage.
yes,
So
yeah.
that was a cool one, and I love Tove Lo. I think that she's got a big career ahead. She's a little bit unique.
Right, her voice.
Her voice and her moves and the way she composes herself in concert, on stage. I think that Tove Lo has that extra level that she gets to that most artists don't, and I'm excited to continue to see her
For
grow.
being as new as she is, yes, she's leaving, and she left me wanting more.
Oh yeah, I think that's what it is. I think she's being slowly introduced to the public. Being on the Billboard Music Awards, I think, is a big thing.
Big step
Absolutely.
for her.
Because she's being, I've followed Tove for the past maybe just like year or two, and slowly seeing her more and more within the media, the press, or whatnot. So to see her on this kind of level, it was great because she's getting more recognition. And you're right, she might have a really good, hefty career in front of her.
Yeah, I think she's a diamond in the rough, and she's slowly coming to the forefront, and she's one that those performances are memorable and exciting, and I think that it's going to continue to be like that for her and her career, and I'm excited.
And I was pretty happy to see the Jonas Brothers as well. When they started out, again, I was thinking, okay, this is a little boy band here, but all of those brothers, Kevin was missing tonight, but they've done a good job, and they're sitting at the top of the charts.
And I really, speaking of the Jonas Brothers, I really enjoyed when DNC was performing. Joe Jonas was up there with the balls, and then Nick was in the crowd dancing.
And you could feel that brotherly love there. I like that.
That's a nice moment. It's a happy moment, uplifting.
Right.
It's cool. It's real.
I think I saw an interview or heard an interview of Kevin Jonas. Oh no, sorry, Joe Jonas on with Ryan Seacrest and whatnot, and they were talking about how supportive they are for each other and whatnot.
It's amazing,
and it's amazing because they worked together when Jonas Brothers first started, and they did really, really well. Okay, people were comparing them to how the Beatles, the craze was with them, and how it just kept it going. But they said with their different. With their solo careers at the moment, or Joe being with the band or whatnot, they're getting to be able to. They're getting to a bigger audience because they said they've never reached some of these peaks before with their individual careers, versus Joe Jonas. So it's kind of nice to see that we thought they were established already, yet they feel like they're just starting.
And I'm liking some of the longevity that we're seeing in these artists that are still here and performing.
A lot of these artists.
And they're still not even 25.
A lot of these artists, it's not about the first thing they put out. It's how they come back after the first hit. Can they put the second hit, the third hit, the follow-up hits that really make you a star, and not a one-hit wonder?
Right.
And so it is nice to see when the Jonas Brothers and other artists can come back, follow up success
and that's why
with new success.
I was a little bit disappointed with Britney because this felt a little 2004 to me.
Right, and if they really brought it back to 2004, like Mike said in the beginning, I think I would have been excited to see it kind of relived.
This was a moment for Britney to shine, not just to open the show and Britney open, but to do something memorable.
Right,
front page news, steal the show, something people are talking about. She completely missed that.
Well, and Britney was awarded with the Millennial Award today, which is why she opened the show. There have only been 3 artists that have been awarded the Millennial Award. So it was Beyonce in 2011. It was Whitney Houston in 2012, of which her daughter Bobby Christina accepted the award, and now in 2016, Britney.
Well, hey, I mean, her accolades speak for itself, but I guess, like I said, we hold her to such a high prestige, we wish there was just more, unfortunately. But it looks like she took some of her stuff from her stage show as well, too. Because some of those songs weren't necessarily hits. They're from her old album. From her
current Vegas tour, or Vegas
residency.
Right. Thank you. Yeah.
Exactly. But I mean, another one I thought that was really cool for me to see was every outfit that Sierra changed into. I mean, we talked about it.
7 outfit changes tonight.
Was it 7?
7.
I stopped counting after 4.
And she knocked it out of the park in all of them.
That is true. if it wasn't called the BBMAs, it could have been called Sierra's fashion show.
It could have, definitely.
She had a new outfit, new hairstyle,
the hair too,
and she just kept one-upping herself. And she's stunning. Congratulations, Russell Wilson. And,
but any time you can have a woman that striking in that many outfit changes, with that many different looks, I mean, just that kept me glued to the show.
And so quickly, the way everything was changing, it wasn't a lot of time.
In between commercials? No, it was live.
And for each time to be like, wow, just stunning.
Right. The beginning, when she changed outfits and all of a sudden her hair was in a fishtail. I'm pretty sure they were backstage, she was standing in there. Everyone was just going for her. But I mean, and like I said, I wasn't sure how she was going to be as a presenter or as a host. And like I said at the beginning, I was a little nervous, but she pulled through, and I really liked her.
own.
I think this is going to be the start of her big time hosting show career, because I think she was phenomenal.
Yeah.
You remember her because of her looks, but she didn't force them on you.
No.
Right? She just looked very nice.
And she was comfortable.
She was
and
comfortable.
Ludacris was great. We got to give it to him as well. He's
Ludacris
always
is good, but for Ciara's first one, I thought it was tremendous, and I think she's going to get a lot more opportunities because of this, and she deserves it.
Yes.
Oh, I cross my fingers for that, definitely. I mean, she might be a little bit busy with IMG. I don't know what product she's going to be the new face for, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot soon.
Yeah.
Standout moment for me, Ariana Grande's heels. Did you see those shoes? No, really. It's one of the things that I thought, geez, I really hope she doesn't slip and fall. They were
pretty high.
And she's a tiny little girl. I mean, she's got a voice for the size of her. But I thought, oh wow, geez, that courage to wear those on stage.
Oh, she got it though. I think she's been practicing with those for quite some time now. She looks like a pro. She wasn't even shaking or stumbling. She was walking across the stage. She was dancing in them.
She was dancing in them.
So.
Yeah.
Did any of you have thoughts on the presenters? Good, bad, indifferent? Did anything strike you?
They all had issues with the teleprompter. I don't know if anyone else noticed, but I don't know if it's the teleprompter or if it was them. Each time there was a presenter that came up, one of them had a stumble with their words.
And I noticed a few when they were coming out two at a time, they would have to move up a little bit. So interesting observation.
I don't know.
Yeah, now that you mention it.
Yeah, what
did you guys think at home? Because I thought that Jessica Alba was fantastic.
Oh, I loved her. She was great.
She looked great.
She always looks great.
She's got a classic look, elegant, fancy, but she presents herself well. And I really enjoyed Jessica Alba. On the flip side, I thought Mark Cuban. Wow.
I was a little confused.
I like Mark Cuban a lot.
Oh,
but
yeah, Shark Tank, definitely.
His joke that he threw in there and was just a buzzkill.
And he needed to be wearing something different for me, too. Again, I don't want to get into fashion. That's tomorrow evening.
Sure.
But you're right.
At least Seal was decked out. He looked like $1 million.
No, Seal looked great.
Mark Cuban looked like he just got out of bed, rolled
And I
over.
only say Mark Cuban because I know Mark Cuban is in the news a lot now for different reasons. I thought he could have equipped himself a little bit better.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Shark Tank, he has the money. He's good. He's good. I mean, speaking of that, like, look, Troye Sivan was wearing a polo shirt, but it was sequenced out. It was decked out. Mark Cuban could have done something. Yeah. What else was a standout moment for you guys? Anything else that kind of drew you into the show?
Well, I think a standout moment on the flip, and we did touch on this, would be at the start, the opening with Ludacris and Sarah. I think their jokes about each other. I thought it was a little stale.
Too much. Okay.
It was a little too scratch my back, I'll scratch your back.
Right.
You look great. No, I look great. No, you look great.
We don't need that.
No.
It's 2016. We don't need that in the shows. We want to know about the awards, the shows,
get into the guts
not
of
about
it.
the hosts.
Right.
There's no time to waste about. We don't start the show sitting here talking about your
Hey,
outfit
I've
and
known
my
you for
outfit.
10 years. Awesome. Great.
Right.
Yeah, glad you're here.
So I thought that we could have done without that.
Oh,
They recovered,
You're
and
right.
it was good. But I don't think you need the pleasantries overly.
Or the accolades for this is not the X show and the Y show, you know what I mean? But also that might go with the writing actually, because I did feel some of the presenters had some really, really super corny lines even for award shows. And I always think that. I always think the copywriters,
who'd you catch?
I can't even remember because I probably blocked it out already in my head. But there was some things where I'm just like, oh, that was just okay, like great, like. But they just have to read them, right? It's not their fault. But I thought there was a little bit more of that than
I personally, in an award show, I can do without any of those pleasantries. If you want to say, hey, you look great, good, but no secondary, tertiary.
more fluff. Yeah.
Get rid of the fluff. Yeah. You can give us a couple jokes. Make a joke about someone in the crowd.
Right.
Talk about how good someone in the crowd. Enough about you guys on stage.
And again, these are being watched globally. I mean, these Billboard Music Awards have been, the Billboard chart has been around since 1940.
Right.
And so this has gone global, and people that are watching this internationally want to see a little bit more than just that.
And
I agree.
if we're the writers, or we're in the writing room, or we're the hosts, take that time to say we lost a lot of good people this year and mention them.
Oh,
we
right.
don't hear that.
Yes.
Anything. There's a lot of things you
And
could
I'm
do there.
surprised. I thought, I would have thought they may have tributed a little bit more, the way the Grammys do. But I suppose this is a different
It's
show.
not a tribute show. Fine, I get it, but you know what I mean. Not
But still,
about
to be a little bit, to be respectful for to history in general, or the people that paved the way. I definitely understand where you're coming from or whatnot.
So that's just something that I thought they could have done a little bit better.
Right.
Overall, I think we touched on the things that I thought were great and not so great. Again, as an overall show,
I think
it was a
great.
fun show.
No, it was.
It was a fun show.
Like I said, this is one of the award shows that I look forward to because of how it's ran and how they touch on things. They're really good with social media with this. They reach out to a lot of the younger social media stars out there to bring it to the digital versus just another, once again, pretentious like snooty award show. It's more relaxed, it's more fun, and there's just music on music on music, which is what we want.
It was like
see.
being back to back to back concerts.
Right.
Loved
And
it.
that's a
Love
great
that,
thing.
yes.
And speaking of other award shows, I think that I like this show a little bit more than maybe the MTV Awards because it's a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
It's not fully serious, but you got a serious overthink.
Although in Rihanna's solo there with a green background, kind of felt like the slime. The slime show where they slime the Nickelodeon Awards.
No,
she was loving the green.
Yeah, no, she was. She's been loving the green, I think, recently. But you're right because it's the Billboard charts.
Right.
You know, the accolades that come with it, and the achievement that comes being on the top 20, top 10, or whatnot is huge. So it gives that respectable name to the show, but as well as it ties in like an MTV kind of feel where it's a little bit more relaxed.
Sure.
It's kind of like a mesh or whatnot.
And the vocals were great tonight.
Yes,
The
vocals. And the design. The design of the show, we talked about it multiple times, the design of the stage or whatnot. Shout out to the designers and the people that worked on that, the art directors, because they look great.
Yeah.
And we must mention that was the first time that arena in Las Vegas was really open, the new T-Mobile Arena. So we'll be seeing a lot of newer events.
I'm sure there was a little
there.
stress that went into getting that arena ready for this event.
Everyone at home didn't realize, but that's a brand new, recently built arena. So for everyone behind the scenes working on that show, they did a tremendous job on that because there was no issues that we caught anywhere.
Not at all. It was the kickoff. I think the next thing that's going to be there is the iHeart Radio Music Festival. Okay. That's coming up like this summer, so watch out for that as well too. But overall, like we said, I think we enjoyed the show. I had a great time with you guys. You guys are great.
We did. We did have a great time tonight.
It was
we
fun
wish we
at
could have
Ultra.
brought all of you from home into the screening room with us because we had a great time watching
It was
the
fun
show.
back there.
Exactly. I mean, there's more. Once again, guys, these are new for AfterBuzz, these specials. There's going to be more and more of them, so stay tuned for that. You might catch us on more specials, but definitely catch us on AfterBuzz every week. Don't forget, you could download this on iTunes, listen to us and how we saw the show, on your way to school or on your way to work in traffic or whatnot. Also, write us some comments. Let us know how we did because we always want to improve. That's always a big thing for us here at AfterBuzz. But I think that's it. We're going to end this show. I just want to kick it off and say thank you guys for joining me today.
It's late, yes.
Thank you. It is late, and thank you to the viewers who tuned
being
in
with
for
us
this,
tonight
so late.
live.
Once again, it's your boy Nino, guys. You can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And co-host, where can they find you?
And Katerina Cozias at Katerina Cozias, Twitter and Instagram. You can also catch me via my website, globalgab.com. That's global-gab.com, where I fill you in on global top trending international headlines.
And I'm going to be checking out that website as soon as I go home tonight. You can find me. My name is Michael Rippe on social media and Snapchat at Mike Rips. It's right here. Easy.
There we go.
Thank you for being
Shout
with
it
us
out.
tonight. We had a good time.
Yeah,
That's right.
definitely.
Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you, Billboard
Bye,
Music
guys.
Shout out to the
Awards, for
engineers.
good
Good
show.
night.
Yes. Shout out to Zach and Jonathan, by the way, who helped us out tonight. Good night, guys. Take care. Twitter, fix our profile.
Fix my profile.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.